All right, this is Daniel, the Christian Adventure Gamer Ling Games booth. We're going to take a look at Archmage, and this is the designer here.
I'm Tim Hieroma.
Yep. And so can you show us how the game works?
Absolutely. So welcome to Archmage. Archmage is, as you would expect, set in a fantasy realm that's fallen into ruin and decay. Seems to be happening to a lot of fantasy realms these days. You're going to start with no magic, and you're going to start with a board that's unexplored in a modular setup. So every time you play, the game will be different, and you're going to explore it as the game goes along. The bulk of the game really is the magic system. Hope you can see if I go over here, or I can come over to your side. So, the board is divided into 6 spheres of magic. Each has an affiliated relic that acts as the fuel for that sphere, and a mythic race that will teach you the fundamentals of that sphere. So if I go visit the gnomes on the map, and I bring them back their coveted widgets, they will start to initiate apprentices for me into the fundamental area of that sphere. Divided into 6 fundamental spell areas, 6 advanced spell areas, and 6 master level areas. So when I get those guys, I'm going to look through my 18 card deck, which is the same for all players, nicely foiled in the collector's edition. And I'm going to find the fundamental yellow spell, and I'm going to add that to my tableau. If I fast forward a little bit, I can visit the elves, I can visit the dryads, I'm going to fish out the fundamental purple and fundamental green spells to add to my tableau. And once per turn, I can spend 1 relic of the appropriate type. So if I want to cast this spell, it's 1 green to execute its effects.
I'll see you. Because it matches this symbol here.
Correct, fundamental.
Okay. Yep.
That shows its level.
Yep.
Okay. But I'm a human mage. I'm not content to play with the scraps of magic. At some point, I'm going to return to my tower, and I'm going to start to weave these things together. So I'm going to force these 2 apprentices into a duel. One will get the promotion, the other will get demoted back to my company. And now I'm going to know the advanced yellow-purple spell.
Okay.
I'm going to add that to my tableau. Okay. Similarly, I can cause these guys to duel and get the fun advanced yellow-green spell. But if I ever abandon a spell area, the knowledge of that magic is going to fade, and I'm going to have to put that fundamental green card back into my player deck.
Okay.
So there's a bit of tension. Do I push my luck all the way up to the more powerful master-level spells? But if I do so, it's at the expense of diversity of spell knowledge. I'm going to have to put those back into my deck.
Okay.
So this should always reflect your current cards that you have in your tableau in terms of what magical knowledge you know. Okay? So that's the hook of the magic of the game. On your actual turn, you're going to have an upkeep phase where you do a bit of bookkeeping. Then you're going to have a journey phase where your mage is going to travel around the map. So I can move, I can explore and claim new locations for my order, or I can attack opponent mages' followers.
Okay.
Kick them off, and they go into the bag of death. So they're also a resource you have to manage in the game, is the number of followers in your order.
Okay.
And then where I end, that's the action I'm going to take. So it's like a worker movement game in the sense that where did my meeple end? I'm going to interact with the dryads, or I'm going to interact with the town, or I'm going to interact with my tower.
Okay.
Okay? Play a set number of turns. When the planets all align in the sky, that's the time tracker for the game. We're all going to score. Flip this over. 1 point for each fundamental spell I know. 2 points for each advanced spell. 4 points for each master level spell. And then we're going to score for map control. So who's got the most in each of the 5 colors? Who's got the most purple libraries, most ruins, most crypts? Score 2 points for each of those. Whoever's got the most points is crowned the new Archmage.
Okay. And it plays 4 players, up to 4 players?
1 to 4 players. It's about 30 minutes per player.
Okay, you said 1 to 4. So how would a 1 player work?
So we have a little automated warlord. The map will shrink down, first of all.
Okay.
You're going to have an automated warlord that's controlled by dice movement.
Okay.
And he's going to come out, and he acts like a player. He'll spend his 5 movement points to move, to attack. So he's constantly interfering with what you're trying to do. And you're trying to get to 4 master-level spells and control more of the map than he does by the time the timer runs out.
Okay.
So it does replicate the multiplayer game fairly well, and it's a great way to learn the game. It's a bit of a rules overhead, so if you're the one teaching it to your gaming group, it's great to play the solo version and kind of get a handle on things before you bring it up for your friends.
And the solo is in the regular edition too, right?
It is,
okay.
Yes. So all the upgrades in the collector's edition, was what we're showing here, are cosmetic.
Okay.
So things like foiling on the cards, this fancy little mage tower in the center. The base game does not include the board, so normally you can just play on your table. This just helps keep it nicely spaced by having pre-printed X's.
Okay.
And the little baggies are also just in the collectors.
Okay. And that's where you put your little wooden apprentices?
So when they die, they go into the bag.
Death.
If you visit places like camps or towns, you can start to preach on the street corners and bring guys back to your order.
Okay.
Hey, I'm going to be the next Archmage. Come join
Okay,
me.
cool. Well, thank you very much for your time. All right. And we appreciate it.